50 kilometers away. Yet despite the siege by ISIL and the scarcity of all means of survival, water, electricity, food, the army and the friendly forces persevered in defending Deir ez-Zor.
Professor Syed Mohammed Marandi from the University of Tehran says ISIL's ideology still poses a global threat, despite victories over the terror group.
We are entering the final stages of ISIL or ISIS having a presence in Syria in the sense that it holds territory. That does seem to be coming to an end. But the ideology continues to exist. And therefore, the terrorism, the extremism that ISIS represents can continue to be a menace to the rest of the world. And of course, it's not only ISIS. We have Al-Qaeda and Al-Qaeda affiliates in Syria, such as the Nusra Front, Ahrar al-Sham, all of these different groups, Jaish al-Islam, they too have the same Wahhabi ideology, and they continue to hold territory. So even after ISIS is dealt with and the territory is taken, the Syrian army is going to have to deal with them as well after they finish with ISIS.
A Russian Bitcoin trader is wanted by the US over alleged money laundering. We've got that story and more after the break.
You're new to the game. This is how it works now. The economy is built around corporations. Corporations run Washington. Washington controls the media. The media controls the voters. Voters elected a businessman to run this country. Business equals power. Boom bust. It's not business as usual. It's business like it's never been done before.
What politicians do is something we don't do. They put themselves on the line, and they get accepted or rejected. So when you want to be president, why would you want to be? Why would someone want to be president? What's it like to be president? What's it like when the phone rings at 3 in the morning? Can't be a good call. I'm interested always in the whys and the hows. And Q Larry. Question more.
Welcome back. Now, Russia's foreign ministry has called the searches of its diplomatic premises in the US illegal. RT's Ilya Petrenko joins me now live with the details on this story. Ilya, good to see you now. A strong response over the seizure of Russia's buildings. What was said today?
Nikki, hi. Well, if you read through the latest extensive comments by the Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman, Maria Zakharova, you realize that the Russian officials are more than disappointed. In fact, disappointed is not the right word here. They are absolutely outraged by what they are calling attempts to whitewash the seizures and the raids of Russian diplomatic premises in the U.S., that is in San Francisco, Washington, D.C., and New York. Here's more from Maria Zakharova.
What the U.S. State Department calls inspections are in fact the illegal seizure of Russian diplomatic premises, including searches from basement to attics. We'd like to emphasize, the buildings that are the property of our government were not just sealed, but seized. Plainclothes American officials are in the building, and armed policemen are guarding the perimeters. This raises the question, does Washington consider us to have the same right to inspect the buildings of the U.S. diplomatic and consular missions in Russia?
In the meantime, the Russian president also had something to say on the matter during the Eastern Economic Forum. His tone was much more mild. He said that despite the ongoing conflict, Russia and the U.S. can keep up with their economic ties. And as an example, he put forward ExxonMobil, the previous job of Rex Tillerson.
Despite all our current diplomatic differences, we continue to have contacts with American firms, including vast energy companies such as ExxonMobil, which Rex Tillerson used to head up. And despite the fact that he is organizing searches in our diplomatic missions, we are resolving ongoing crises situations with his former firm. We also gave Tillerson a medal once, but he seems to have ended up in a bad company and is headed in the wrong direction. But I hope that the cooperation and friendship will lead him back on the right path.
We remember that straight after Washington made the decision to close the the Russian consulate in San Francisco and other Russian diplomatic premises, the foreign ministry promised that they're going to come up with a reaction to this, and we still haven't heard about any measures from the Russian officials, so possibly they are still coming up, or maybe not. Soon we will find out.
I'm sure you'll keep us updated on that. Thank you. That's RT's Ilya Petrenko. Now, we've been reporting on the struggle of a Palestinian couple to remain in their home in East Jerusalem that they've lived in for over half a century. But now they've been forcibly evicted. Here's their story.
I was sleeping when the soldiers broke in. I had a pain in my back, so they put me in a wheelchair. What have I done? Hijacked a plane or something? Why have a dozen soldiers attacked me?
We're afraid that this house is just the beginning, and we might be the next anytime soon. We're all gonna be kicked out of our homes.
Well, we all view the international community, the UN, view East Jerusalem as a future capital of Palestine. If the demographics shift significantly, it makes the realization of that ambition much harder to achieve.
The family was evicted under an Israeli law which allows property to be reclaimed if ownership before 1948 is proven, when an exodus of Jewish people began from East Jerusalem. Well, no such law exists for Palestinians. According to Human Rights Watch, between 1967 and 2016, around 15,000 Palestinians had their residency status removed. The US is pushing for the extradition of a Russian national accused of cybercrimes and money laundering. Alexander Vinnik was arrested in Greece back in July at the request of the US Justice Department. He's accused of using the cryptocurrency trading website Bitcoin to launder more than $4 billion. Greek authorities are currently considering the extradition request. Mr. Vinnik spoke to us by phone through his lawyer from prison in his first interview since his arrest.
I do not. I worked for the company and carried out my duties, and it's not right to blame me for that. I only found out what the accusations were a month after I was arrested. My Russian lawyer told me about them. I would say they are mistaken. I don't have any planes, yachts, or any other luxury possessions. First, because I haven't done anything illegal. Second, I don't understand what the US has to do with me, and why they should be judging a Russian citizen.
The Russian Foreign Ministry has said it's closely monitoring the situation to ensure that the suspect's rights are being respected. Mr. Vinnik's wife, Alexandra, also spoke to RT, giving further details about her husband's detention.
I turned around and saw that my husband was surrounded by around 20 men. 20 men wearing t-shirts and sunglasses took part in his arrest. He was handcuffed. Our children were there at the time. These men walked him away. They also took mobile phones and the key to our hotel room from my bag. As far as I know, they searched the room. Me and my children were kept on the beach from 11 in the morning until 7 p.m. under the supervision of 3 men. We couldn't leave. The children didn't get anything to eat at all. As far as I know from the documents sent from the US, the BTC's activities were against the law there. The document says the managers knew they were creating a platform for money laundering because it wasn't registered, it didn't have a license. And because such business models allow criminals to use the exchange. All the charges are being made based on this statement. By this way of thinking, you could make the manufacturers of frying pans, for example, guilty because wives hit their husbands with them. It's the same thing. Obviously, his return to Russia is my main goal. My husband agrees to be extradited only to Russia and no other country. He wants to come home to his family, to his children.
Well, join me at the top of the hour for the latest headlines, but if you can't wait until then, check out our website at rt.com.
Jambo la kwanza, tukianzisha mafunzo, tuna jambo ambalo tunaita the definition, sio? Ambaye ni kujikinga ni nini? Sawa?
Sasa mimi nikusirika sababu kila saa ikimkuta tukikutana na yeye ananiambia twende kwa yeye. Haiwezekani. No.
Ya ngumi kugonga wapi? Hapa kwa shingo. Ama tunaweza tumia kugonga wapi? Pia hapa. Sawa? No!
Nimesikia sira imekuwa mingi. Halafu sasa inabidi badala aniface na mtokea upande mgonge hapa. Kigonga.
The rape incidents in Korokocho were very high for the grannies.
Well, they're the war hawks selling you on the idea that dropping bombs brings peace, to the chicken hawks forcing you to fight in the battles that they start.
The news hawks try to tell you that celebrity gossip and tabloid murder trials are the most important news today.
While the hawks of advertising tell you that you are not cool enough unless you buy their product.
These are the hawks that we, along with our audience, will be watching.
This is the Kaiser Report. You know, Elon Musk over there at Tesla, Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook, they're all arguing about artificial intelligence. Like, is it going to destroy the world? Elon Musk says maybe it will. Mark Zuckerberg is already destroying the world, so why does he care? Let's find out more from Stacy.
Well, Max, we are also going to talk here about trust, antitrust. You and I have discussed on our show several times the fact that we have tech monopolies starting to emerge in Silicon Valley. Now we know that Silicon Valley is in the heart of California, which is also very democratic and liberal. So a lot of the liberal media elite like these guys, and so don't mind their monopolies, perhaps. So we're going to look at what has happened since Hillary Clinton lost the election. She lost to a reality TV star. She was humiliated by losing to a reality TV star. All of our media elite in the likes of MSNBC and CNN have demanded that their good friends in Silicon Valley, their good friends who run Facebook, their good, nice guys who run Google, and all their friends that they hang out with, that they start censoring the speech of people that they don't like. I encountered it twice in one day, just on a little stupid link I provided on my Facebook page from Boing Boing. Facebook threatened to block my page, claiming that Boing Boing link was fake news. Let's all pray for Hillary. Of course, I said let's pray for Hillary because I believe this whole charade of fake news is about protecting Hillary, making her feel better. So as you see, I got shut down from Facebook, and then I posted it to Twitter. And when I posted it to Twitter, they shut down my comments saying show additional replies, including those that may contain offensive content. So here you see the beginning of the shutdown of the free space that is the internet.
Oh! Yeah. Well, you know, people think that You know, these speech requirements on these sites have to be looked at more closely because there's bad actors, there's hate speech, and Mark Zuckerberg needs to be filtering out the triggering words and phrases that might corrupt our youth and create a political outcome like that would not be conducive to making America as much in Hillary Clinton's image as possible. And that's not really what's going on. You know, the algorithm that is at technological heart of pulling your content from Facebook or